All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying the conference so far. Amazing speakers, amazing atmosphere. Everything is going super great. Welcome to my talk. Today we are going to be talking about JavaScript Magic, supercharging web applications with headless and modern front-end frameworks. In this, firstly, we are going to be talking about a bit of JavaScript. I mean, I know that we all know the advantages of JavaScript and what it is doing, but just to set the mood, we'll talk a bit about JavaScript. Then we'll talk about front-end frameworks, the benefits of front-end frameworks we have. Then we'll explore what headless is. We'll see the difference in the architecture of monolithic and headless. We'll see the differences in both of the architectures. Then we'll see a bit of code. We'll see how to set it up quickly, super quick. With one of the frameworks, I'll be using React, just to show you how quick the integration is. And then the most important thing that I want to talk about is building experiences. So I want to talk about how powerful this combination of modern front-end frameworks and headless becomes, and how it can provide experiences for everyone who is involved in the process. So yeah, let's move on to the talk. And before going on to the talk, a little about me. My name is Chakit Arora, and I'm a full-stack developer. I stay in India. I work as a developer relations engineer at Storyblock. This is my website and this is my Twitter, so you can find me over there. And I really like to be involved in the communities, and that's why probably you see me today here. I write about tech, I speak about tech, and yeah, that's about me. All right, let's talk JavaScript. I'll quickly go through this one. I know there are like many benefits of JavaScript and why would you use it and stuff like that. But I just wanted to talk about these points, the four I have mentioned. So the first one is ecosystem. JavaScript has created an amazing ecosystem around us, right? I mean, there are JavaScript conferences, there are conferences for specific frameworks. A lot of things are happening around. You can build for cross-platform, you can build, nowadays it's not just about building on cross-platform, it's about building anything and everything. Even my friend Donnie mentioned about like machine learning and stuff like that. I'm sure that JavaScript is going to be, it is one of the most interesting languages, and I'm sure that it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow. Then talking about communities, as I was mentioning, we have conferences, events, meetups, many people using JavaScript, and there is a lot happening around JavaScript. One of the things that I really like, since we are talking about web, one of the things I really like is the way JavaScript has changed the way web works. So moving on to that, the best thing I think for us as web developers is frameworks, like being on front end or being on back end. JavaScript has given us a lot of frameworks, be it React, be it Next, be it Express, or any other thing, right? I mean, I cannot even imagine the time. I cannot even imagine building a web application right now without using a framework. And these are some of the benefits of front-end frameworks mostly. For example, they are time-saving, right? I mean, if you tell me to build something without using a framework, I'm not sure, firstly, if I'll be able to do that, but it's going to take a lot of time. Then these frameworks are flexible. They take less effort for you to do a certain amount of task or certain thing. And just for the examples I've mentioned, two features. For example, you implement these things super easily. For example, a router or a store and so on. Let's now move on to the main part, one of the main part, that is what is a CMS and what is a headless CMS. Has any one of you ever tried a headless CMS or maybe a CMS before? Wow, that's great. All right, so I'll just be talking about the architecture of a headless CMS and the architecture of a monolithic CMS. The one that you see on the left-hand side is the architecture of a monolithic CMS. Probably, you can relate it to the things that, I'm sure that you have made websites, or you have seen tools where you drag and drop and, you build websites mostly websites. Using drag and drop, and they have their own templates, they have their own components and stuff like that. So those piece of softwares are mostly monolithic CMSs. The way it works is, the architecture of a monolithic CMS would be you have an admin interface, you have a place to store the content, and then you have a tightly coupled presentation layer inside that. So whatever you do, you see it then and there, but it's not mostly that you are able to like extend it or put in your code a lot. So that's about monolithic CMS, and this gives this has a couple of limitations with it. So let's say you want to use a specific framework, it's not easily possible. Let's say you want to build for another platform, just not website, then it's going to be a problem. And yeah, we can cover the benefits of headless just after this. So probably it will be more clear like what headless can do and what what are the limitations to monolithic. Talking about the other diagram, that's about headless. Headless, like as the name says, headless, so it doesn't contain the presentation layer. The way it works is, it also has the admin interface, it also stores your data, but the presentation layer, as I mentioned, it's not there with it. So you fetch the data through the APIs and then you can fetch it to any of the platforms. It's not that you can only build for websites, it's that you can build for any platform. Be it websites, mobile, IoT, voice assistant, maybe you want to build an Alexa skill or something like that, then that is possible too. I mean, the front end is decoupled. The front end or the presentation layer is something that you control by yourself. These are the benefits of headless. So as I mentioned, decoupled front end is something very good for like developers like us, because you can choose whatever you want to, right? It's not that you need to adapt to a specific technology, or you don't need to adapt for a specific framework. If you're using Next.js, if you're using React, if you're using any other framework, it's fine. I mean, you can integrate it with any framework. Omnichannel support. Omnichannel support is something very much useful in the marketing environment. But as developers, like we are the ones building it for the marketers, or we are the ones building it for the brands, right? So when we talk about omnichannel experience, it's something that you give your users or customers, or like whoever is using your platform, the same experience on on all of those platforms. So headless gives you that opportunity as well, because you're retrieving the data through the APIs, you can retrieve it anywhere. Code maintainability and like also scalability and flexibility. Headless also uses component-based architecture. So you create components inside your headless CMS, then you create components inside your front end. You map those up, and you can just scale the way you would scale a modern front end framework. You can just scale it. You can like scale the complete architecture the way you would. You can integrate a bunch of other things. Maybe you want to integrate it with any e-commerce platform or any other thing, then it's easy for you to connect it with those. API first, headless CMSs are API first, so that is something which gives you the option to get the data with the APIs and use that anywhere. Let's see the code now. So what I'll do is, before seeing the code, let's see the CMS that we are going to be using. So we're going to be using Storyblock. I'll just give you a quick I'll show you how, I'll show you quickly how it looks. So this is the way, this is how it kind of looks like. On the right hand side, these are the components. So you define these components, or you define these schemas inside the CMS, and then you code these components on your front end. So you can define your own fields, then you retrieve that data and you render that data inside your components. So that's how it works, and it has this visual editor, so wherever you click, you can just do the live editings, and it can be very much very much granular. You can control a lot of fields, you can play around with a lot of fields and so on. I'll now move to this space or this project that I have. So we are inside the home story. I'm not going very much into the specifics of the CMS, but we are inside a story or a page that is called home, so it has the slug home. And yeah, now let's see the code and how it looks. So this is a very simple React project. Can you see it, or do you want me to increase the font? Okay. Is it good? Awesome. Thank you. All right. So yeah, this is the index.js file. This is this is the first file that that we are editing over here, or that we are seeing. The first thing that you need to do is you need to install the package. So I've already installed it. It's called Storyblock React in this case. We are initializing the package with the help of the access token from that particular project or space. Then we have passed all of the dynamic components. So these are the components that you see over here. So for example, this is a page component, then this is a teaser component. Inside grid, you have these different feature components. So this is something that we have, we have made these components over here. We have imported those, and then we have defined it over here so that it, it renders dynamically, because you can change this structure and like your front end doesn't know which component comes first, so it's going to be rendered dynamically. And yeah, let's move on to the app.js file. This is a file in which, the thing we are doing is we are getting the slug first. So we are fetching from the window itself. So if I go onto localhost, whatever slug you provide, it's going to just take that slug. Just a very basic and easy code. Then we have this useStoryBlock hook over here. So what it does is it allows you to fetch the data for that particular slug. So in this case, it's the home slug. So it's fetching the data for home slug. And then I'm just passing a couple of parameters that fetch the draft version and so on. Then what we are doing is, once we get this data from the CMS, the way data would look like is this. So it's going to be a JSON. So like this is how you're going to get the data. This is how you're going to know that there is a component that is named teaser. It has a field that is called headline field. Then you see that there is another component called grid. It has a field called columns. Inside columns, then there are different components and so on. So that's how it works. After this, we are rendering. We are using StoryBlock component. This is a component that allows you to render the components which you have defined over here dynamically. So that's about it. And then these components, the ones which we have defined over here, or like the way they look. For example, the page component. What it does is it fetches, it loops through the body, because this page component contains multiple nested components. So it fetches those, it loops through those, and it again uses the StoryBlock component to render those dynamically. And then, whichever component comes in over there, whichever component you make, that is going to be rendered dynamically. So, like this is how it looks. So, for the teaser, let's say, teaser just has the headline field. So we are just rendering block.headline. The data is being passed inside a prop. That's how it works. So let's just try it. I'll just add another field, but this is what I wanted to show you, that like over here, after adding this StoryBlock editable function, you can have these dotted lines coming in, and these are going to be your components, right? You define the schema and everything, and then again you can just click on anywhere. You can edit the way you want to. So if I go over here and if I say hello city.js, it's going to be happening in real time. You can see your content changing in real time. Similarly for other things, maybe if I want to drag and drop or do anything, it's going to be happening in real time. That's how a bit of it works. What I'll do is I'll just just to show you that how you can configure the fields by yourself and how it can go to a granular level. What I'll do is I'll just define another field for teaser, and I'll go here and I'll say color. And the color field, I'll select a different field type for this. It's going to be a single option field, so you'll be able to choose from a drop down. Let's say this one is blue color, the value goes blue, and then another option that is red color, and the value goes red. So whichever you select, whichever you select is going to be in the response for you in the API, right? So if I select blue, then it's going to be, the blue is going to be sent inside the JSON response. Right now nothing changes, but we can make it work. The way it would work is we'll get the field, we'll say color, and then we'll say block.color. Let's hit save and let's hope it works. And it doesn't. So it does. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is how easily you can play around with the different fields. You can. This is just an example to show you that. This can go very granular. You can have different fields, different different types, different things, and so on. Maybe you want to play with styling, or maybe your components are more complex, somewhat like this. Then you can build these things around. So yeah, that was about the code. Let's go back on the presentation. Now, since we have seen the benefits of modern front-end frameworks, I think which we are mostly aware about, and we have seen the benefits of headless. This is what makes it a very powerful combination to use. This is what gives better user experiences or better experiences for anyone who is involved. Let's quickly take let's quickly take a look at the experiences, and this is something that I really want to this is like one of the conclusion, or this is the main thing that we want to come at. So let's talk experiences. We'll talk about developers. Developers are important. So I've just I'm a developer, so yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just cover the developer thing in the end. But yeah, let's talk about the experiences for content editors. you can create once, publish anywhere, right? I mean, that's the flexibility you can give to the content editors. There is no developer dependency. Once the components are created, you can reuse them over and over again. I mean, if I create a hero section, if I create a hero component, it can be used over and over again, and you can build pages all around. You get a collaboration. You get, you get collaboration with these sort of tools. Then you can create content in minutes. It's good for SEO as well because your content editors can put in what do they exactly want to put inside those fields. You can create an SEO section or something like that. Talking about marketers, it gives you an option for omnichannel, as we already discussed. It gives you an option for personalization. We'll see personalization as well if we get according to the time. They can create new campaigns in minutes. They can schedule the content. So it's something that reduces the dependency as well as gives them a better experience to work with this architecture. Then talking about developers, this is one of the best things. So for example, you can really focus on your code. You can really focus on what you want to build or what you want to use. You can choose any of your stacks. You can choose any of the front-end frameworks or maybe any other thing as well. Then we have internationalization. If you want to even internationalize the content, it's easily possible inside the CMS, right? You just add a language, switch it up. You set up the code once, and then your content editors, they can be using that, using that structure similar to the way they would use any other component. Less content requests, so you won't be getting requests saying, hey, can you please fix this article for me, or hey, it doesn't look good on mobile, can you change it right now? Because you would already know how it looks, and you have already given a structure to your content editors or marketers, and they can play around with that. Clean code, it's not, again, if there is some sort of content, you can have that functionality defined dynamically. It doesn't have to be inside the code. So the code is cleaner. It's, again, component-based approach. So, it's cleaner and scalable. Let's talk about personalization a bit. In this similar manner, you can even provide personalization. So just a second, I'll open up. Yeah. So for example, if you want to personalize the content, let's say you want to, you want to give a user an experience, a personalized experience. The way it would work is you analyze or you understand the type of user on the front end. We have you can, just giving an easy example would be to know if the user is logged in or logged out, right? You can identify that on the front end. You can see if the user is logged in or not. And then probably you want to show them different content depending upon this state. Then you can do this as well. You can, inside one story or inside one page, you can put in two different type of things. And once you fetch this data, you can render this data again conditionally. That's how, that's how it would work. And for your content editors, you can even, set this sort of preview. So they can see that, the preview right now is set up as new visitor, but you can even set up as a returning visitor. So they can see how the content is going to look like for the returning visitor. They can see how the content is going to be looking like for a new visitor and so on. So that's how you can even provide the personalized experience. And yeah, all of this creates a better experience for user. And we already spoke about the experiences for content editors, developers, and marketers. And after all of this is how we feel as developers, super energetic and super powerful, just like Pikachu over here. Once the developers are happy, or once we are happy, it feels good to be happy, right? So yeah, that's how that was most about it. That's how you can provide good experiences to everyone involved. And yeah, that was most about it. Thank you so much, everyone.